Starting from zero can feel like standing in the middle of an empty road with no clear direction, no support, and no sign of where success might be waiting for you. It can feel heavy. It can feel embarrassing. It can make you question your worth and your future. Many people look at an empty bank account and immediately connect it to failure. They believe that having nothing means being nothing. But that belief is one of the greatest lies people tell themselves. Your financial situation does not define your value. It does not define your intelligence, your potential, or your future. The truth is that starting from zero is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter. It is a moment of truth where excuses disappear, where illusions fade away, and where real growth begins. Zero is not your punishment. Zero is your foundation. It is the clean ground where you get to rebuild your life stronger, wiser, and smarter than before. Some of the most successful people in the world have stood exactly where you are standing now. They faced rejection, debt, failure, and loss. They had moments where they felt broken and uncertain. But what separated them from everyone else was luck. Not luck, connections, or privilege. It was acceptance. They stopped fighting reality. They stopped pretending things were okay when they were not. They looked at their situation honestly and said, "This is where I am, but this is not where I will stay." Acceptance is powerful because it gives you control. The moment you accept where you are, you stop wasting energy denying it. You stop blaming others. You stop wishing the past had been different. You stop comparing yourself to people who are on a different path. Instead, your energy shifts toward action. You cannot solve a problem you refuse to face. You cannot rebuild a financial life while pretending there is nothing to rebuild. Real change begins with honesty. Look at your current situation clearly. Look at your bank account. Look at your habits. Look at your decisions. Not with shame, not with regret, but with responsibility. Responsibility is not about blaming yourself for everything that happened. It is about recognizing that your future is still in your hands. Maybe life knocked you down. Maybe mistakes were made. Maybe circumstances were unfair. But your power begins the moment you decide to take ownership of what happens. Luck ends next. There is something incredibly powerful about a person who says, "Yes, I am starting over. Yes, I am at zero, but I refuse to stay here." That decision changes everything. It shifts your identity from victim to builder. It turns pain into fuel. It transforms fear into focus. Do not be ashamed of humble beginnings. Every empire starts with one brick. Every fortune starts with $1. Every transformation starts with one decision. This moment, right now, can become the moment your life changed forever. Not because money suddenly appeared, not because someone rescued you, but because you made peace with your starting point and committed to moving forward. Zero is not your weakness. Zero is your opportunity. It is proof that there is room to build, room to grow, and room to create something extraordinary. The only thing that matters is what you choose to do next. Accept where you are, believe in where you can go, and take the first step forward. That is how every financial comeback begins. The biggest financial transformation never begins in your wallet. It begins in your mind. Before your bank account changes, your thinking must change. Before wealth can appear in your life, your mindset must create space for it. This is where most people fail. They focus only on making more money, but they never change the beliefs and habits that keep them financially stuck. They try to build wealth with a mindset that was programmed for survival, fear, and limitation. That is like trying to fill a bucket full of holes. No matter how much you pour in, it keeps leaking out. Many people grow up hearing things like, "Money is hard to earn," "Rich people are greedy," or "People like us never get ahead." These ideas may sound harmless, but over time they become invisible chains. They shape your choices without you even realizing it. They create fear around opportunity. They make you doubt your ability to succeed. They convince you that financial freedom is meant for someone else, not for you. If you want to restart your financial life, the first battle is not outside of you. It is inside of you. You must confront every belief that tells you success is impossible. You must silence the voice that says you are too late, too broke, too inexperienced, or too far behind. Those thoughts are not facts. They are limits you have accepted, and limits can be broken. Luck. Money mindset understands one truth. Wealth is not luck. Wealth is learned. It is built through knowledge, discipline, patience, and action. No one is born understanding how to create financial freedom. It is a skill developed over time. Just like learning to read or ride a bike, financial intelligence can be learned if you are willing to study, practice, and improve. This means your current financial situation does not predict your future. Being broke today does not mean you will be broke forever. It only means you have not yet learned the strategies and habits required to win financially. That should excite you because skills can be learned. Knowledge can be gained. Habits can be changed. Start feeding your mind with better information. Read books about money. Listen to successful people who teach practical financial wisdom. Learn how money works, how investments grow, how businesses create value, and how disciplined people manage resources. Every lesson rewires your thinking. Every new idea weakens old limitations. But knowledge alone is not enough. Your daily thoughts must change too. Stop saying, "I can't afford it." Instead, ask, "How can I afford it?" Stop saying, "I'm bad with money." Instead, say, "I am learning to master money." Stop seeing setbacks as proof of failure. See them as lessons that sharpen your strategy. The language you use shapes your reality. What you repeatedly tell yourself becomes the foundation of your actions. If you constantly speak defeat, your actions will reflect defeat. If you speak possibility, your actions begin to search for opportunity. A strong financial mindset also requires delayed gratification. It means choosing discipline over comfort. It means saying no to things that feel good now so you can build something greater later. It means understanding that true wealth is built slowly through consistency, not overnight through shortcuts. Your mindset is your greatest financial asset. It determines how you respond to challenges, how you handle setbacks, and whether you keep moving when results are not immediate. The moment your thinking changes, your financial life begins to change. New ideas appear. New opportunities become visible. New habits start forming. And step by step, the life that once felt impossible becomes your reality. Everything changes when you stop thinking like someone who is stuck and start thinking like someone who is building. Your wealth begins the moment your mind decides it is possible. If you are starting your financial life with $0, then understand this. Your greatest asset is not money. It is your ability to become valuable. Most people spend years complaining about what they do not have. They blame their circumstances, their background, their lack of resources, or the opportunities they never received. They become experts at excuses while remaining beginners at growth. But excuses have never built a future. Excuses have never paid a bill, created freedom, or changed a life. Skills do. Money always follows value. This is one of the most powerful truths you will ever learn. The marketplace does not reward wishes, complaints, or potential. It rewards solutions. It rewards people who can solve problems, create results, and make life easier or better for others. The more value you can provide, the more opportunities will come your way. This is why your focus should never be on chasing money directly. Your focus should be on becoming the kind of person money naturally follows. Build yourself into someone who is useful, capable, and dependable. When you do that, income becomes a result, not a struggle. Think about it. Every successful person is paid according to the value they bring. A skilled communicator earns because they can influence and connect. A salesperson earns because they can solve needs and build trust. A programmer earns because they create systems people rely on. An entrepreneur earns because they solve problems at scale. Behind every paycheck is a skill that creates value. The good news is this: skills can be learned by anyone willing to commit. You do not need to be born gifted. You do not need a perfect education or special connections. You need discipline, curiosity, and consistency. You need the willingness to study when others are distracted, to practice when others are resting, and to improve when others are making excuses. Ask yourself this question: what valuable skill can I begin learning today? Maybe it is communication. Learning how to speak clearly and confidently can change your entire future. Maybe it is sales, because every business and career depends on the ability to persuade and connect. Maybe it is digital marketing, writing, coding, graphic design, video editing, problem solving, leadership, or negotiation. The exact skill matters less than your commitment to mastering it. At first, progress will feel slow. You will feel inexperienced. You will make mistakes. You will doubt yourself. That is normal. Every expert once felt the same way. Growth always feels uncomfortable because it demands change. But every hour you invest in learning is building something inside you that no one can take away. The world is full of people waiting for perfect conditions before they begin. They say they will start learning when they have more time, more money, more confidence, or more support. But perfect conditions never arrive. Winners start where they are with what they have and improve along the way. Do not underestimate small daily effort. 30 minutes of focused learning every day becomes hundreds of hours over a year. Hundreds of hours create expertise. Expertise creates value. Value creates income. And income creates options. Your current bank balance does not determine your future wealth. Your skills do. A person with money but no skills can lose everything. A person with valuable skills can rebuild again and again because they carry their earning power within them. Stop. Focusing on what is missing and start building what matters. Every excuse you release creates room for growth. Every skill you develop increases your worth. Every day you commit to improvement moves you closer to freedom. You may be starting with $0, but if you are willing to build your skills, you are not starting from nothing. You are starting with possibility. And possibility, when developed through action, becomes success. One of the biggest mistakes people make when restarting their financial life is believing they need a perfect plan, a large amount of money, or ideal conditions before they can begin. They convince themselves that success starts with a huge breakthrough, a lucky opportunity, or some dramatic moment that changes everything overnight. So they wait. They wait for more money, more confidence, more knowledge, more support, and more certainty. But while they are waiting, life keeps moving. Opportunities pass, time disappears, and the dream of financial freedom remains exactly where it was yesterday. The truth is that success rarely begins with something big. It begins with something small. It begins with one step, one choice, one decision to act today, one instead of someday. The people who transform their financial lives are not always the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who start before they feel ready. They understand that progress is built through motion, not hesitation. If you are starting with $0, this is actually an advantage in one powerful way. It forces you to focus on action instead of comfort. When you have little, you learn to become resourceful. You stop depending on what you have and start maximizing what you can do. This mindset builds strength, creativity, and resilience. Do not underestimate the power of starting small. Saving your first dollar may seem insignificant, but it is not about the amount. It is about the habit. It is proof that you are becoming someone who controls money instead of someone controlled by it. Making your first side income, even if it is only a few dollars, is not about the size of the payment. It is about proving to yourself that you can create value and earn through effort. Every great financial success story begins with these tiny victories. The first saved dollar. The first lesson learned. The first disciplined decision to say no to wasteful spending. The first skill practice consistently. These moments seem small at the time, but they are laying the foundation for everything that follows. Think of success like building a house. No one places the roof first. It begins with a single brick, then another, then another. Day after day, piece by piece, the structure rises. Financial freedom works the same way. Every smart choice you make is another brick. Every small action adds strength to your future. The danger is not starting small. The danger is never starting at all. Too many people dismiss small beginnings because they want immediate results. They say, "What difference will $1 make? What difference will 30 minutes of learning make? What difference will one small side project make?" But these small actions compound over time. They grow. They multiply. What feels invisible today becomes undeniable tomorrow. Momentum is created through action. Once you start, confidence begins to grow. Once confidence grows, your effort increases. As your effort increases, your results improve. This creates a cycle of progress that becomes stronger with time. But it all depends on taking that first step. Do not let fear of imperfectity stop you. Your first attempt does not need to be amazing. Your first business idea does not need to be revolutionary. Your first savings goal does not need to be huge. It only needs to exist. Progress does not demand perfection. It demands consistency. Starting now sends a message to yourself that your future matters. It tells your mind that you are serious about change. It shifts your identity from dreamer to builder. You do not need thousands of dollars to begin rebuilding your financial life. You need courage. You need discipline. You need the willingness to take one step forward, no matter how small it seems. That small step is not meaningless. It is the beginning of momentum. And momentum, when protected and repeated, becomes transformation. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Start now. That is how financial success begins. Most people believe financial success is about earning more money. They think the secret is finding a better job, landing the perfect opportunity, or discovering some shortcut that changes everything overnight. But the truth is much deeper than that. Financial success is not built by income alone. It is built by discipline. Without discipline, even great opportunities are wasted. Without discipline, money comes in and disappears just as quickly. Without discipline, progress becomes temporary, and financial struggle repeats itself again and again. Discipline is what separates people who dream about freedom from people who actually achieve it. It is the ability to make the right decision even when it feels uncomfortable. It is choosing what matters most over what feels good in the moment. It is controlling your emotions instead of allowing your emotions to control your choices. This is where many people lose the financial battle. They allow feelings to dictate their actions. When they feel stressed, they spend for comfort. When they feel discouraged, they give up on saving. When they feel impatient, they chase risky shortcuts. When they feel successful for a moment, they reward themselves with unnecessary expenses. Their financial decisions rise and fall with emotion, and as a result, their progress becomes unstable. Discipline does the opposite. Discipline creates stability. It teaches you to act based on purpose, not impulse. It reminds you that every dollar has a direction and every decision shapes your future. When you are rebuilding your financial life from zero, discipline becomes your greatest weapon. It means tracking where your money goes instead of pretending it will somehow work itself out. It means saying no to purchases that offer temporary pleasure but delay long-term freedom. It means creating a plan and sticking to it even when no one is watching. This kind of self-control is not easy. There will be moments when spending feels easier than saving. There will be days when quitting feels more comfortable than continuing. There will be times when progress feels so slow that you wonder if your effort is even worth it. This is exactly where discipline matters most. Discipline is not about feeling motivated every day. Motivation comes and goes. Some mornings you will feel inspired, and other mornings you will feel exhausted. If your success depends only on motivation, your results will always be inconsistent. Discipline carries you forward when motivation disappears. It keeps you focused when emotions try to distract you. The most powerful financial habits are often simple but repeated consistently. Saving a little every week, reviewing your expenses, learning something new about money, investing time into building skills, avoiding unnecessary debt. These actions may seem ordinary, but when practiced over time, they create extraordinary results. Understand this clearly. Every disciplined action strengthens your future self. Every time you resist an impulse purchase, you are proving that your goals matter more than instant gratification. Every time you stick to your plan, you are building trust in yourself. And self-trust is one of the most valuable forms of confidence you can ever develop. Discipline also changes your identity. At first, you may feel like someone trying to become financially responsible, but over time, disciplined actions reshape how you see yourself. You no longer feel like a person trapped by money problems. You become someone who manages money wisely, someone who thinks long-term, someone who is in control. This transformation is powerful because once discipline becomes part of who you are, success stops feeling impossible. It becomes inevitable. Financial freedom is not built through luck or emotional highs. It is built through repeated acts of discipline that compound over months and years. You may not see dramatic results overnight, right? But every disciplined choice is moving you forward. Every small act of control is building momentum, and eventually, those invisible efforts become visible success. Master discipline over emotion, and you will master your financial future. That is where real freedom begins. When people restart their financial life, many become trapped by urgency. They focus only on surviving the present moment. They worry about this week's bills, this month's expenses, and today's problems. While these concerns are real, living only for the immediate moment can keep you stuck in a cycle of reaction instead of creation. If your only focus is putting out today's fires, you may never build the future you truly want. This is why having a long-term vision is essential. A vision gives your struggle meaning. It reminds you that the sacrifices you make today are not punishment, they are preparation. Every discipline choice, every skill you build, every dollar you save, and every challenge you overcome is part of building something greater than your current circumstances. A person without vision drifts through life reacting to whatever happens. They make short-term decisions based on comfort and convenience. They spend without thinking, quit when progress feels slow, and become discouraged when results are not immediate. Why? Because without a clear picture of where they are going, every obstacle feels pointless. But when you have vision, everything changes. A long-term vision gives direction to your daily actions. It helps you make decisions with purpose. It gives you the strength to say no to temporary pleasures because you are committed to something bigger. Your vision is not just about having more money. Money alone is not enough to inspire lasting change. Your vision must be connected to the life you want to create. What does financial freedom mean to you? Does it mean waking up without stress and anxiety about bills? Does it mean being able to provide security for your family? Does it mean having the freedom to travel, to build a business, to support causes you believe in, or to spend your time doing work that matters to you? The clearer your vision becomes, the stronger your motivation will be. You will no longer be working just to make it through another month. You will be building a life with intention. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the future version of yourself. Imagine waking up with peace instead of pressure. Imagine checking your bank account without fear. Imagine knowing that your hard work created options, stability, and freedom. Imagine the confidence that comes from knowing you built your financial life through discipline and perseverance. That future version of you is possible, but it will not appear by accident. It must be created through the choices you make today. This is why every action matters, even the smallest ones. Saving a few dollars matters because it aligns with your vision. Learning a new skill matters because it moves you closer to your goals. Saying no to wasteful spending matters because it protects your future. These small actions may feel insignificant in the moment, but they are powerful because they are connected to something larger than today. Long-term vision also helps you stay strong during setbacks. There will be moments when progress feels painfully slow. There will be times when life tests your patience. In those moments, vision keeps you moving. It reminds you that temporary struggle does not define permanent failure. It reminds you that growth often happens quietly before it becomes very visible. Success is rarely instant. It is built slowly, step by step, often without applause or recognition. The people who achieve financial freedom are not always the fastest. They are the ones who keep going because they know where they are headed. Do not let your current situation convince you that your future is limited. What you see today is not the final picture. It is only the starting point. Create a vision so powerful that it pulls you forward even on difficult days. Let that vision guide your choices, strengthen your discipline, and fuel your persistence. Your financial restart is not about fixing today alone. It is about creating a future so strong, secure, and meaningful that one day you will look back at this moment and realize it was the beginning of everything.